So when you do Thor object equal to so Rambo object, so what is the value you will get? So let's do that. Double equal to I am using. Double equal to why I am using.
Compare.
So what is the output you will get?
True or false?
That compares the value.
Right? So what is the value you will get when you use this always Boolean value, right?
Yes.
B. So B and this output will store in this local variable. See, comparing two objects. What we are doing? Comparing two objects. Plus B. See, what is the answer you are getting? False.
False.
That means those are not equal. This is not same as this one. Why it's not equal? Let me prove that. So how do you know this number? How do you get this object number? This object address? Get that object address. To get the object address, to fetch the object address, use object class hash code method. What method? Hash code method we need to use. Hash code method we need to use. So this will returns integer number. What it returns? Integer number. It returns integer number. Okay. So that's the hash code. So this is how you can, right? So call this hash code method you need to call. So let me call that. First I'll get Thor object address. Okay. So this is a return type method. So return type method, how can you call non-static return type method? What is the formula?
Data type variable name.
Data type. So variable
Data type variable name
object
equal
reference dot return type non-static method.
done.
So here data type is this return. This method is returning a what type of data? Integer. So that's a integer. Thor memory address equal to the Thor obj dot hash code method. See, so where this hash code method is available? Which class? Object class. Sir, we don't know this object. Object class is one of the
Hash
super class for all the Java classes. This is already created by Java. It's available in java.lang package. Okay, so that's you will get the memory address of Thor object. Even you can get the memory address of so memory address of memory address of Thor obj. Same you do for the Rambo object also. Okay? Okay, so that's a Rambo object. So here I can use this reference variable. Okay. So now see, you can easily, watch now the address difference. See, this is 191. This is 3056. Here itself, you are easily understand, right? Every time a new object that has a one integer number. Clear? So that's all about object creation, how you can represent each object with a different data, with unique data. That is possible with the object concept only. You want to represent with the same variable you declared. See, we didn't declare for Thor and Rambo different variable names. One class, one methods, but you are representing with a different data with a different object. You want to represent each object a separate data. Then go for object concept. Are we clear? Or anything you need more? So that's all this. Let's see the differences between object and class. Okay, so what is the difference between object and class? So object is an instance of a class. Object is an instance of a class. Class is a blueprint or a template from which objects are created. Object is a real world entity which exists basically in the real world. It's a physical entity. Okay, it's a physical entity which really can be seen. It's visible to you. But that we are representing in the software. A class is a logical entity. It won't be visible to you. So it's just a logic. It will be in the paper. It will be in the, something in the mind. You're just defining that. Okay, so that's the this object and class. So class is a group of similar objects. Object is a real world entity like pen, laptop, mobile, pad, keyboard, mouse, chair, house, table, anything which is physically exist. Right? That's the object. So object is a physical entity, class is a logical entity. Object is created through new keyword and like this, right? So this is what we have seen. Class is declared using class keyword. You will use class keyword, then you will declare a class. Object is created many times as per requirement. Class is declared only once. You cannot create a duplicate class. But you can create multiple objects for the same class. Object allocates memory when it is created. So object allocates memory when it is created. Class doesn't allocate memory when it is created. That means there is no memory created when you create a class. So how can you create a class? Using class keyword. So there are many ways to create object in Java, such as new keyword, new instance method, clone method, factory method, deserialization method. So these are all the different ways how you can create object for the class. And this is asked in the interview. We know mostly with the new keyword, right? There are other ways also there. Okay. You can create with a new instance, clone method, factory, and deserialization. So these are the other ways how to create object. So there is only one way to create a class in Java using class keyword. So that's the main concept. And what are the different oops concepts in Java? So we have a class, object, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. So what are the different oops principles? Class, object, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction. These are the oops principles. And there are two types of programming languages. We have object-oriented programming languages, object-based programming languages. So what is the difference between them? So object-based programming languages are basically it doesn't support all the oops features. Object-oriented programming languages, they support all the oops features. So object-based programming doesn't support inheritance OOPS concept, but object-oriented programming language supports all the OOPS features, including inheritance. So Visual Basic is one of the examples for object-based programming language, and Java is a object-oriented programming language. So JavaScript and VB are the examples for object-based, and you have C#, Java, so V.NET, Python. These are all the object-oriented programming languages. So what are the advantages of OOPS concepts? So we have a lot of advantages. You can make development and maintenance very easy by applying that principles in your coding. So if you apply effective coding, you can write all the rules and instructions. So you can hide the data with the OOPS concepts. I'll show you in the next class the encapsulation. That's the data hiding you can do. And it avoids a duplicate code. You don't need to write a duplicate code. The same method you need in different places. You don't need to write the same method in multiple places. You can do using inheritance, and you can use that wherever you want without so creating that same method multiple places. So OOPS functionality will show the functionality and hides the logic. Basically, you're seeing many things in the real world, right? See your mobile, you're just using the functionality, but we don't know what logic behind that. Like you see ATM centrals, you're not seeing the logic, what logic they built up in this ATM software, but we are just going and accessing that functionality. Only functionality you are so able to feel that, but logic we are not going to see. How is it so built up? So all these are OOPS concepts will provide that. So basically it improves the design and structure of any software with this OOPS concept if you follow them. Okay, so that's the total theoretical part today, and tomorrow I'll explain encapsulation. So what is encapsulation, and so how it is going to be achieved encapsulation. First OOPS concept we'll discuss tomorrow. Any questions?